Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So, who here uses a little software thing called pip? It was featured in the last presentation. Okay, everyone uses pip, right? Have you noticed like sort of a weird thing about pip recently? I think that mine should have this issue because I haven't upgraded recently. Like if I do pip dash dash version. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, I don't have a virtual env active or anything. This is just like what's on Ubuntu 16. Like, so if I do pip, like, what do I have to do to make it do stuff? Well, I wanted to, like, check the remote one. I'm just gonna, like, install something. Is it gonna complain?
No, the API.
Oh, I'm not even online, so of course this isn't gonna work. If you have a working thing of pip, it'll tell you that version...
Here, it works.
Oh yeah, so look, see it says, I'll make it bigger too. Big enough for you, okay. Yeah, so it says, I'm using pip version 8.1.2, however version 18.0 is available. I'm 10 versions behind, what's wrong with me? What am I doing with my life? It even wrapped, so it looks very confusing. But yeah, version 18.0 of pip is available. And this was kind of a surprise to me. It turns out that pip didn't advance 10 versions. They advanced one, from 10 straight to 18. Can anyone take a wild guess why that might be? Not you, Stephen. Al?
Date-based versioning.
Date-based versioning. So how, I mean, answer me a question now, because I don't actually know this, right? How far back does this go as a trend? You're probably the most experienced engineer here. 1995? Windows 95? You think it started with Windows 95? I trust you if you say yes.
Ubuntu is really the first one that I really remember doing that, right?
That's weird that you should say that, Al, because I happen to know that like Fortran 77 is a thing.
Oh, well then.
And that wasn't the 77th version of Fortran, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
they would have evolved into Python by then.
I mean, COBOL did the same thing, but
okay.
That was unusual.
Sure.
You know?
So this is kind of...
Actually, COBOL 77 did not really come into 77 because of all the approvals. You know, Ubuntu made it a thing.
It's a business language. Well, geez, I don't have internet, so I'm just going to have to maybe do this live and run it locally. Okay. Yeah.
A few languages did that.
Let's see. Okay, so the reason I'm talking about this is because I happen to run a little website, and rather than figuring out the internet, like I'm gonna go ahead and just serve it from the local one if I can remember how to do that. Let's see. Sure. All right. So normally you could visit it at CalVer for calendarversioning.org, but instead I'm going to serve it off localhost. Yeah. Okay. So if you go to calver.org, you'll see this website, and I'm just going to explain to everyone else like sort of how this works. CalVer is a software versioning convention that is based on your project's release calendar instead of arbitrary numbers. Everyone here all knows about like the 1.0, right? How important that is. And the 2.0, how important that can be if you ever get there, if you ever actually release it, and people actually like it better, and all the problems that come along with doing a semantic second system. So instead of dealing with all of that baggage, right, you can just release your software right now using today's date as your inspiration. The idea is that software versioning gets better with time. Yeah, I can't help myself. So yeah, basically, there's no one right way to version this stuff. The main purpose for the website is for people who want a lighter weight like versioning process, and one that tends to get more informative over time instead of less. This is a place that you can send your colleagues who get very confused at large numbers. So what you can do is just like design your scheme a la carte, choosing your major version, your minor version, and so forth. And you can include these date-based sort of like strings as well, such as year, month, day. You can zero pad it if you want. And I provide several case studies, such as Ubuntu, like Al mentioned. So one really cool thing about Ubuntu, I'm on version 16.04 here. When did it come out? April 2016. And because it's Ubuntu LTS for long-term support, it's supported for 5 years. So that means that I can safely keep using this old laptop with this old operating system as long as it goes until like maybe 2020, someone do the math there, 2021. Right, so like this is an example of how you get great semantics out of a calendar-based version. So Ubuntu is one, Twisted is another. Twisted is a Python framework. We've had its creator speak here before. YouTube DL, one of the unsung secret commands out there, lets you download YouTube videos, and it definitely uses a version-based system. And one of the reasons, it sort of showcases one of my favorite reasons to use such a system, when you aren't in control of when you make releases. Every time YouTube finds a way to thwart them, they have to immediately circumvent it and then make another release. So sometimes when the 1.0 comes out, it has some significant meaning. When you're chasing the tail of or maybe the other way around, but when you're playing tag with one of the world's biggest companies, you gotta be ready to make a release anytime, whether or not it's quote unquote breaking. Another example of that is when time zones update. So PyTZ also does date-based versioning. And even really, really big companies like Teradata release their SDK under a date-based version system. And so, yeah, I have a whole bunch of other examples. And now, surprise for me, I heard people were talking about it, but it actually happened. Pip switched to it. And so tonight I gotta update this page to include that. PyCharm? Anyone use PyCharm? Also date-based. There you go. Arch Linux? Anyone use Arch Linux? Okay, wow, actually a couple of people. All right, well, if you enjoyed those examples, there are many more on the site, calver.org, calver.org. Now you know a thing or two about software versioning. But yeah, that's all I had. Okay, thank you.